Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 17, which is entitled as Shraddha-traya vibhāga yoga, the three types of faith. Sloka 4, Part 2. Yajante sāttvikā devān, yakṣa-rakṣāṁsi rājasāḥ, pretān bhūta-gaṇāṁś cānye, yajante tāmasā janāḥ. Men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods. Those in the mode of passion worship the demons. And those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Here we will see whom they worship, why they worship, and what they get out of their worship. Yajante sāttvikā devān, sattve guna prachuraha. By now, we should know that these gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, resides in body, indriyas and manas. But they are not in the atma. Let us be very clear with this basic understanding that we have learned from the previous slokas as well as in the past. Atma doesn't have these gunas. It is only Prakriti, the body, which is product of Prakriti, has these gunas. Manas is also product of Prakriti. Indriyas are also product of Prakriti. Therefore, all these three has Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So whenever we say he is in mode of goodness, he is in mode of passion, he is in mode of ignorance, what it means is that person has the body, the senses and the mind which has those gunas in prominent in respect to other gunas. We say he is in mode of goodness doesn't mean that that person is free of rajoguna and tamoguna. What it means is that sattva-guna is present more in percentage and the other two, rajoguna and tamoguna, are less in occupancy, less in percentage. Likewise, when we say a person is in rajoguna, that means he is more of rajoguna in percentage and less of sattva-guna and tamoguna in percentage. Similarly, when we say a person is in tamoguna, it means he has more of tamoguna and less of sattva and rajoguna. Otherwise, everyone will have these three gunas and cannot be free of them as long as one is in this material world, within this Prakriti. If they are free of Rajas and Tamas, then why that person will stay here in this world? He would have attained the spiritual world. Exceptions are those who are chosen and sent by the Lord to perform certain services. So let's keep this in our mind, this understanding that whenever we say a person is in Sattva Guna, he has less of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. When a person is in Rajoguna, that means he has Sattva and Tamas less in him. When we say a person is in Tamoguna, that means he has Sattva and Rajas less in him. In other words, everyone has all these three gunas. The only difference is what is more and what is less. That's all. Yajante sāttvikā devān. So those who are in mode of goodness, they worship devatas, the demigods, through the recommended process in the Vedas, yaga, yajna, homa and so forth. They worship and pray to Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Brahma, Shiva and many others. Why they worship them? What reason? Because they know those devatas are more sattvic than them. What do they want by worshipping them? What result they were expecting? What reward? They want to be in their place. They want to enjoy the association of that particular devata. They want to have similar features of that devata. They want to enjoy like that devata. They want to have misery-less life. Over here we have mixed happiness. Mix of happiness and miseries. Over there in the abode of devatas, there is no mix of miseries. There is higher pleasure. Let's move on to the second category, yakṣa-rakṣāṁsi rājasāḥ. Those who are in mode of passion, that is rajoguna, where their mode of sattvaguna and tamoguna is less, they worship yakshas and rakshasas. We happen to be in one jewelry shop. Over there, when we paid the bill, they gave a small card. The card has Mahalakshmi, and to the other side of Mahalakshmi there was Kubera. Was quite surprised to see that one, because Mahalakshmi is always where Narayana is there, as she is a devoted, chaste consort of Sriman Narayana. Whereas Kubera is an yaksha and holds a post as treasurer for the gods. So they have this unique combination of Sri Mahalakshmi, and Kubera, who is a treasurer, trying to convey the message that you will have a lot of wealth by worshipping this combination. But the point is, Lakshmi will be there where her husband is worshipped. Otherwise, she is chanchalam. She doesn't stay in one place for a long time. People less they know, it is the Lord who appointed Kubera to be the treasurer. He was not a treasurer by birth. It is just a post that he holds. So those who are in Rajoguna, they worship yakshas and rakshasas, so forth. They have a esteem opinion about Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, because they are more in mode of passion than the worshipper. The worshipper want to be in their position. They want to have the wealth of that particular yaksha or rakshasa, or the strength of those yakshas and rakshasas. They want to have controlling power like them. But the result they get is of lower pleasure with mix of miseries, unlike those of sāttvikā worshipper. There is no mix of miseries. Over here, the result they get as a mix of miseries. Now let's see the last category, pretān bhūta-gaṇāṁś cānye yajante tāmasā janāḥ. Those who have more percentage of tamoguna and less of sāttvikā and rājasa worship pretān, the ghosts, bhūta-gaṇāṁ, the host of spirits of dead, the evil spirit, ghost, goblins. They use the dead bodies, they use the skull and skeletons. Why do they do this? Because they want to attain quick result, and they know that the evil spirits are more influenced by tamoguna than them. By this, they want to attain some power. They want to attain name, fame, position, trying to take over someone by controlling their activities, make others like a puppet in their hands. But these results only gets them miseries. In Sattvaguna, the result is free of miseries. By worshipping in the mode of Rajoguna, there's a mix of miseries and happiness. Whereas in Tamoguna worship, it's no mix of anything, It's simply miseries. So we learn three things. Those who are in mode of goodness worship devatas, so they can have happiness without miseries. They can attain the similar opulences of the devatas, be with them, and enjoy the facilities for longer duration. And those who are in mode of passion worship yakshas and rakshasas. Their happiness is mixed with miseries, whereas those who are in mode of ignorance, tamoguna, they worship ghosts, goblins, spirit of dead ones, so they can have some mystic power, attract people, get more audience, become famous and powerful. But it only has misery as a result, not even mix of little bit of happiness. Something to be noted in this sloka: worship of goodness is devata worship, worship of passion is yaksha and rakshasa worship, and worship in ignorance is worship of evil spirits. So where is Krishna here? There is no mention of Krishna worship. Prabhupada in his purport says, these kinds of worship that mentioned here in the sloka are not actually Krishna worship. God worship is for persons who are transcendently situated in pure goodness. And he quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam that Sattvam Vishudam Vasudeva Shabditam. When a man is situated in pure goodness, he worships Vasudeva, one and only Krishna, whose name is Vasudeva. The same question is also answered by Vedanta Desika in his Tatparya Chandrika, a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. There he says that this sloka only speaks about sāttvikā, rājasāḥ and tāmasā people and their worship. It does not speak about paramasāttvikā, meaning transcendentalist. Those who are paramasāttvikā only worship the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, who is not just Deva, he is Deva Deva, the Lord of all lords, God of all gods, Ishvara of all other Ishvaras. And those who worship Krishna, Krishna alone, they are not just Sattvika, they are Paramasattvika. And their goal is to attain Krishna, to continue their service in his abode. They are the one who doesn't go to devatas, yakṣa-rakṣāṁs, or never even think about the evil spirit. Their only mean and goal is Krishna. Therefore, they are above all these three. They are Paramasatvikas. To conclude, persons with elevated sattva guna will worship devatas. If rajas is heightened guna, they will worship the yakshas and rakshasas. If it is tamas that is more potent, they will worship the ghost and host of spirits. In the next two slokas, Krishna directly answers Arjuna's question. Krishna explicitly and clearly states that only those sacrifices, etc., sanctioned by the Shastra, when performed with faith, so both are important. It has to be sanctioned in the Shastra and it has to be done with faith. Then it will yield different fruits according to the gunas. Whereas the penance, sacrifices, etc., not enjoined in the Shastras, and therefore they are against the order, command of the Lord, even though done with complete faith, will not yield even a small amount of happiness. Rather, it only gives calamity as its result. Yajante sāttvikā devān yakṣa-rakṣāṁsi rājasāḥ pretān bhūta-gaṇāṁś cānye yajante tāmasā janāḥ. Namaste. Hare Krishna.